That was a weird
What was that?
shadow. Something flew like right by the window, I think.
Probably that CGI baby.
She's gonna get you.
She gonna get
She's
you.
gonna haunt my nightmares. That was it's fine. It's fine.
It's not fine.
I gotta stop talking. I just don't understand the thought process. I like as like a movie producer. Justin's gonna make this intro. I just don't understand the thought process.
This
because
is
I'm
one
like,
of those things that
like
that got through a committee. That wasn't just one
Stephanie
person.
Meyer approved that. Why?
Stephanie, call in because
my mom is like my favorite thing. Kyle says is Stephanie call in. We're gonna start saying it in random episodes.
Even when we're not talking about Twilight, we'll be talking about something else. Stephanie, call in.
Like I don't. I just.
Yeah,
why did they not?
That was a committee. There were several. There were many people.
People signed off on that.
Signed people and said, "This is fine. This will be fine."
Yeah, people said, "You know what? You know what'll be a great idea? We'll get a robot fake baby. It's gonna be 50 pounds, so those 35-pound actors can't hold it. We're gonna put a weird little face on it with teeth
and a wig,
and we're gonna blur its face like it's RuPaul in season 1 of Drag Race, so you can't see anything. Vaseline on the camera anytime the baby. Like, I mean, that's what it looked like, and I'm so sorry, movie people of
triggered.
Life. I just don't understand. I
know. Hi, I'm Kyle, a tired therapist.
And I'm Jackie, also a tired therapist.
And together, we are two tired therapists.
Welcome to the pod. Welcome back to Two Tired Therapists.
Welcome back to Two Tired Therapists. We are still on our bullshit and happy that you're.
I
was just petting. I was trying to pet Groot and I started petting producer Justin's hand. It was a little strange. I gotta go. Cut the camera.
Dead ass. It's done.
This home is dark-sided. There's a lot happening in your home.
You know what I would love? There is not a fucking dark-sided reel. I need to either make one or find. I need to lift one.
You got to go find. You got to go find her.
It's oh my god.
I forget her name, but it was from Parent Swap.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta find it anyways.
Mm-hmm. We need to finish this
once and for all.
Because
and this won't be fake.
This won't be fake. This won't be fake.
This won't be a tease.
This won't be a tease. We really are going to finish it. It's time. But first, what's tired? What's going on? What are you tired of this week, Jackie?
Oh my gosh, where's my little list? You're so good about your list. Mine are. Oh my gosh, I've used almost all my list.
Are you cured?
No. Oh, here. I watched this documentary. Here's something that I'm tired of. And I think this is something we could probably do an episode on. It's on Netflix if you watch it. The Program. Did you watch it?
No.
I think I'm tired of like those like alternative schools where they send kids to the wilderness and they actually give them PTSD from verbal, physical, and sometimes sexual abuse. Well, I watched this on Netflix called The Program. If anybody is listening, you should really watch it. It's really not too terrible in terms of like, I mean, it is pretty, trigger warning, but I mean, it's done pretty well. It's a woman who went to one of these schools for almost 2 years, and like all the people she went to, well, not all of them, but a lot of people she went to school with, the friends that she made, they go back to this school to kind of like investigate because she wants to make a documentary. She's a filmmaker. They go to the school, and lo and behold, what do they find? All the files, all the video camera footage. It's just like abandoned, but all their files are all there.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that.
Oh, it's so
What's it called?
The Program.
Okay, it's on the Netflix.
It's on Netflix. But I think I'm tired of that. And like, it was really sad because it was like they all were told that they were bad kids and that their parents didn't love them. They also manipulated the parents. It's actually a really interesting lesson in like manipulation and like cult.
Sounds like
behavior.
Conversion. Sounds like a conversion therapy for straight people.
Kind of. It was, but like they manipulated the parents. They like, it was a cult basically. I mean, it wasn't religious necessarily, but it was a cult in the way that they dealt with stuff. And but then you see kind of like how it's affected them now as adults. Like they're all in their 30s. So it's like all of them are like, I have nightmares of this place. And like they go back to like, I mean, everything is still there. Like the classrooms, like there's books still there.
What state was it
in? New York. The school was in New York.
Interesting.
It was almost on the border of Canada. So yeah, I think that those schools are tired. Don't send your kids to like an alternative school like that. That's weird.
No, unless it's like a Montessori school. Like that's probably the only alternative school.
Or like if it's an actual legitimate like treatment. The thing is they try to pass this place off as like a treatment place.
Oh, I see.
And like with therapy, we probably should book it to do an episode because they wasn't therapy at all.
No.
And the stuff that they were doing was very bad.
If you have to convince someone it's treatment, it's probably
it's not. Well, and like one of the things they used to do, and I forget what they called it, I can't remember, but they would like have to like, they had like rolled up towels that they duct taped. So like it was hard and they would have to like all day like beat the towel on the ground and they couldn't stop no matter how, and it was like 8+ hours. And if they didn't do it, they got sent to another thing where they had to like do this like weird like hands in, hands or palms in, palms out, palms together, palms apart. Like they had to, but it was like coercion and like basically physical abuse. It was wild. And then part of the thing is the filmmaker sort of basically confronting her dad about why he sent her there. And for a while he like didn't want to like think that it was bad, and like kind of her personal journey into like, because she was estranged from her dad for a while because of it. I think she was there for almost a year and a half. It's good. It's a little dark. I'm so sorry.
That part is giving like a Michael and Natalia confrontation vibes.
No, but it's okay. It's not bad. Like
I'm gonna watch that.
It's really good. It's only 3 episodes. They're about an hour piece.
Oh, good.
Not too terrible. I highly recommend. Mm-hmm. Paris Hilton's in it a little bit. Because she she went to one of those schools and she talked about it.
I'll have to ask Karen. Hi, Karen. She's Paris Hilton's #1 fan. So she might know about this tea. Maybe we can do a guest. Maybe she'll be a guest.
Oh, I would love to see Karen. I miss her.
Let's talk.
So yeah, it's interesting. But anyways, don't send your that's tired. Don't send your kids. These schools are still in operation.
Call us first if you're going to do this, and we'll look into it.
Yes,
and we'll let you know.
I'll let you know if
we'll
it's worth it.
We'll let you know if it's worth it.
Anyways, Kyle, what's tired with you?
Well, this might be a little outdated by the time this episode airs, but I'm tired of the flat earthers.
Oh.
And let's talk. They really came out during the eclipse. They really had a lot to say.
They had a lot to say about everything.
And my reels, they are coming up on the reels. And of course I stopped to watch them because they're ridiculous. But then of course now Instagram probably thinks I'm a flat earther, so it shows me
I'm really interested in why they think the earth is flat.
Here's my theory, if I may.
Sure.
I don't think any of them, because, well, some of them probably do, but I think the vast majority of people who are flat earthers, and flat earthers call in, but I think they want dissent. They are just people who want to...
They want chaos?
Go against...
Oh, like okay.
Like, I don't think they really believe. Like I think
they just want to be. They want to be the
yes
the negative voice,
the naysayer.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
I just don't understand how you can really honestly believe that and tell people that you are a flat earther when there's literally so many things, including a picture of the fucking earth.
Oh well, they said that's fake. And their big thing to prove it wrong is they show how airplanes fly, and they're like, well, why don't they just fly? Wouldn't they fly in a straight line? Isn't that the quickest way to get somewhere? No, bitch, because the fucking Earth is a circle.
Yeah,
like
it's not.
Sphere.
You have to follow the curve. Okay.
And
then you don't deserve to fly or do anything fun.
You.
I'm so sorry. I'm taking away your rights.
Right, your rights are gone.
Just like a straight white man, I'm taking away your rights.
Well, and there's the tea. Well, and that's the episode. Thanks so much,
everybody.
If
you know what, that should be the consequences. If I was president, I'd be like, you know what, you want to believe that, fine, but then guess what? You can't travel. Can't go anywhere.
You can't go anywhere.
It's flat.
Because you're on flat.
You're going to fall off the face.
Thing. So, like...
You're going to walk down the street and fall off?
It's just crazy the things that they'll say that...
Oh, my God.
They believe there's, like, a secret world in the North and South Pole. So when you get over the ice caps, there's a whole other world in there.
Was Santa?
I don't know. No, it's like a paradise. It's like a bunch of trees and
Santa.
Everything. It's not Santa.
Oh, my God.
It's just...
That screams you still believe in Santa if you're flat earther.
It's just so stupid. And then, of course, the eclipse. They've got all these theories that... It was the dark sun and not the real sun. It's too much.
Sure.
It's too much. It's too much. It's tired. So if you're a flat earther, please stop that.
Stop.
Please stop.
Well, you ready?
It's time.
It's time.
We got to get through it. Part 2, Breaking Dawn.
Breaking Dawn. Okay. This came out a full year later. So this is 2012. So this is a 11-year-old movie.
It's not
what
important.
Year is it?
It's not important.
I saw this in the theater. I'm sure you did too.
Yep.
So we will talk about some things. here, I'll read the synopsis. Here's my little paragraph synopsis. Bella awakes as a vampire from her life-threatening labor, and her newborn daughter Renesmee proves to be very special indeed.
Well, because she's a CGI baby.
Right. While Bella adjusts to her new state of being, Renesmee experiences accelerated growth. When the Volturi learn of the baby's existence, they declare her to be an abomination and sentence the Cullens to death. Bella, Edward, and the rest of the clan seek help from allies around the world to protect their family.
That is scratching the surface of what this is.
Okay. So the movie immediately picks up from where it left off.
Yep.
She opens her eyes.
Vampire.
She's cool. So she gets, okay, cool. Bella's now cool. Okay.
But she's not. She's a flop.
Right.
Still a flop to me.
But she looks
great. Magically vampire wearing makeup.
And I just want to say that in the book, not that her features changed, but the book was like, she looked like a supermodel. Like
they lashed her up.
Yeah, well, and they did, but like I was expecting more, like, I don't know, more contouring. I don't know what I was expecting. Like I expected more. Yeah. But so so now she's strong as hell.
Yeah, she's newborn. Remember?
And she hugs Edward, and that little bitch is about to get crushed. And you know what else is about to get crushed?
She said, "I'm the captain now." That was her.
And she said, "You know what else is about to get crushed later?
This dick."
Yep. She straight up gave him a hug, and he thought he was gonna die.
God bless.
They hunt, whatever. Who cares?
Well, she said, "Where's my baby?"
Oh, she got it. And
but then he's like, "No. You
have to hunt.
We gotta hunt.
Because you're thirsty." That sounds so bad, but it's also true. You gotta hunt because you're thirsty, girl.
It's true, though. It's true.
So they do this first hunt. Who cares? She finds a human, doesn't kill it. Whatever. Who cares?
I resisted. She kills a mountain lion.
Whatever.
Fine. I said, of course she's amazing. Still a flop to me.
Right. She goes back to the house, and then Jacob is there, and she's
with his hard nipples. Did you see his hard nipples through that shirt?
It must have been cold that day.
It was scary. I was like, oh my god.
And she's like, oh, Jake, you really do stink. I see what everybody's talking about. I'm like, girl, shut up. And then she realizes, it's very subtle, but it's really interesting. She realizes Jacob is not upset by their PDA, Edward and Bella's PDA.
Jacob is now on the flop train with me. He's like, she's terrible.
So like Jacob runs in the house and is like, let me protect my imprinted child. And so then again, it's this motherfucking animatronic baby.
Who is not even close to a newborn. Like they didn't even CGI it. I know that they're showing she's older, but it was
again. Why did they not use like a toddler?
That's why I said, why didn't they just get a real child?
Because it has only been 3 days since she was born, and she's in the book. I remember her being sort of like a toddler-esque. Like she could sit up, she could move, but she couldn't talk, she couldn't like walk. Yeah. Anyways, I hated it.
Yep.
And then Jacob loses his marbles because Bella holds her, and it goes fine. There's no like weirdness. Everybody's like, "Oh, Bella, you're so beautiful." Blah, blah, blah. They're all staring at her, and then it becomes the Maury show. Immediately becomes the Maury show.
You are not the father. Bring out the
pickles. Yep. She realizes what's happening. She grabs Jacob by the neck and literally drags him outside like a dog.
Physically abuses him.
Again, and she confronts him, and she's just like. She goes,
She said, what's the tea? What's going on here?
She's like, oh my God, it was a mess. She confronts him. He's like, well, I Nessie. And she goes, you named my daughter after
trigger warning, because I totally forgot that he called her Nessie.
Yeah, everybody called her that. As
soon as he said it, I had to like pause. And
the only people who did not call her that were Edward and Bella in the books. I'm pretty sure everybody called her Nessie.
Because it's a stupid name. Sorry to anybody named Nessie out there.
She confronts him. She beats him up. And Esme's like, Edward, don't let her do this. And he's just like, I don't give a shit.
He's like, she's fine.
He's in his just supportive era, I guess, to Bella now. Finally, he's like, yeah, let her beat him up. So she gets mad, but then it kind of becomes fine. It's not like a bad thing. Like it kind of just ends. Like it's not like a whatever. But anyways,
I mean, I get it because he explains like this is what imprinting is.
Yeah.
And on a basic level, fine.
Sure.
But you imprinted on a baby.
You also it's fine because.
You're gonna fuck that baby
like her.
One day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we know
what's gonna happen eventually.
Right. Like you may not feel that now, but we know it's coming.
Right. And like you're like her brother now, or like kind of like a dad to her, like
but
whatever.
Even still,
but
that's weird that you're like, well, I'm your dad now, but then once you're older, we're gonna
be your daddy.
I'm gonna be your daddy. I'm your dad, but I'm gonna be your daddy. We should have said trigger warning.
Right. Trigger warning. Oh my God. Well, and I think the other thing that's kind of funny that they do is, and they in the books it was a bigger deal, but they all have houses on the land that the main Cullen house is on. They don't see it. So the Edward and Bella have a house.
Little cottage.
It's a little cottage. It's very cute. And so they kind of show around, and Esme's got a room, and it's like blah blah blah. Then they show the bedroom very, very very pointedly.
Well, and then. Well, and she said something too, or didn't she? Or he did it. Said something about like, well, why is there a bed? Like vampires don't sleep. And I said, yeah, vampires don't sleep. They fuck.
That's what I know. I wrote vampires don't sleep, but they do fuck.
But they do fuck, and that is just what they do. And the visual orgasm when she like, and it's like, did you see the fireworks?
Yes.
I was like, literally,
you get a second,
literally 13 reasons why.
Second sex scene, second like post vampire. She's like clutching the sheets. She's like, I mean, it was a lot more. I was like, oh,
which I'm
I was
sure
like,
it's
okay,
great. Yeah, like you get to let loose. And she says to like, oh, you really were holding back.
Well,
shut up.
and I remember in the book, because they're the same temperature now, like everything feels more. Right. It's not as like it's not as tough for her.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Fine.
But and so then the next day they're like, we have to tell Charlie. Charlie keeps calling. She told him he was sick and that they were in Switzerland, whatever. So then they're like, we're going to have to tell him you're dead. And
I did not understand this plan. This seemed like a flawed plan from the beginning.
I think the thought was that when she dies, the town was going to be enraged and they were going to come after the Cullens because she died. So they had to leave town.
Well, why tell her she died? Why not just say like, she's better?
Well, because your dad would probably want to see you. Like,
well, sure.
But then we can't see her because she's a vampire, and if he knows about her existence, then he dies. Like it was a very, it was a very delicate balance. In the book, it was.
Well,
again,
anyways, guess who ruins that fucking plan?
Well, guess who decides I'm gonna strip down.
Guess what,
and give Charlie Swan the lap dance of his life.
Literally.
So Jacob's like, I'm gonna do this. He goes, well, you want to? He's like, he takes it into his own hands. He runs to Charlie's house
because they were gonna move away,
right? So they were
take his imprinted baby,
right?
And he said, "Not my baby,
not my baby." And so he goes to Charlie and he's like, "Come on, let's go for a walk." And they go into the woods and he just starts stripping. And Charlie's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Right. I was surprised Charlie didn't get out his gun and shoot him because that's probably what I would have done if I was Charlie. But so then he phases in front of Charlie and Charlie's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then Jacob goes back and is like, "Guess what I did, everybody?"
Guess what I did. Right.
And they're all like, "What the fuck is the matter with you, dude? You could kill Bella like this." There's a whole scene of like Charlie's gonna come over. They tell Bella how to act like a human.
He gets to meet the CGI baby.
They tell him that it's Edward's niece that they're adopting and raising as their daughter, because that's the only way they can kind of get away with how.
But Jacob kind of told him like, "Hey, they're not a werewolf, but she changed."
Right.
And so he's kind of like, okay.
So her dad comes. She has a nice little visit with him. Nothing happens. She doesn't kill him. She's fine. She hugs him, which in the book was a huge deal because she could like smell his blood and she wanted to kill him, but she didn't. And so then Jacob's like, "Aren't you happy now? Like everything's fine." And she's like, "Well, you kind of put my dad in danger, you dipshit." Like, right. And he's like, "Well, it's whatever." And then Emmett's like, "You know what? Let's arm wrestle, bitch." Like it's so random.
It was so random.
And so then they go outside. You get a little bit of a Bella glitter scene. She gets to see her glitter, whatever. So they're living life. They're doing their thing.
They wigged up Renesmee. She got older.
So she gets, so then now it's Mackenzie Foy, which is a little bit better, but they still kind of like face tuned her for some reason. I
don't know.
So they're out. Her, Jacob, and Bella are outside. Irina is way in the motherfucking distance and sees Renesmee and is like, the fuck is that little shitbag? She jumped
400 feet in the air. Yeah.
Right. And she runs away and
with the werewolves.
Yes. Yep. And so Bella tries to chase her to like ask because they haven't seen her since the wedding. She kind of like went off. Well, then what basically happens is they explain that immortal children was something that happens if you bite a child it turns at the age that it is. So if you bite a 2-year-old, it's a fucking 2-year-old.
They and they stay that way.
Right. And
they can't keep the secret. They can't control themselves. So they're illegal.
So there was like
with the vampires.
Right. So Irina, the Denali Coven, the blonde sisters, it's like Tanya, Irina, and Kate. Their mother turned a child. Yeah. Child slaughtered a village. The Volturi came. They killed the Denali sisters' mother and the baby. That was hilarious. Which Dakota Fanning just like tossing that baby into the fire.
I said LOL at tossing the baby on the fire. Jackie and Kyle.
Just straight tossed it into the fire. Yeah. So then Irina goes to the Volturi and tells them Edward and Bella have
guess what, bitch?
Guess what? I got your number.
I got the tea.
And they have an immortal child, so now you can kill them all. Right. And they're like, yes. So then they flip to Alice, and they're
who
all
has her "That's a Raven" moment.
That's a Raven. Yeah.
And
demonetized. And she drops a glass, and everyone's like, you know travel glass.
What's the tea? Yeah,
and then
what's going on?
They say, oh shit, we're fucked. They decide to ask all of their friends from around the world to testify that Renesmee grows.
Yes.
Also, we did not talk about it. I just realized we didn't talk about it in part 1, but we should talk about it in part 2. Renesmee has the power of like Edward and Bella combined, where she can touch your face and you can see what she's thinking only when she's touching you.
And it's the opposite of Aro, where he can touch you and hear your thoughts. She can project her thoughts.
Yes. Yeah. So it's sort of like Edward and Bella mix. Like she can give her thoughts, but it's only on her terms.
On her terms. Yeah.
So because she starts doing that, so then they say, okay, we're gonna bring her around to everybody so they can see her, whatever.
So we see all these other vampires from all over the world.
Right. Meanwhile, Alice gives Bella a little something with the name of a guy and says, doesn't say meet this guy, but says, here's this guy's name. She contacts him. She gets fake IDs.
Fake IDs for
Jacob and Renesmee. Yeah. So then she realizes, oh, we're going to get fucked up in this fight. Because it's not Edward and Bella. It's just the two of them. Which that was a huge scene in the book that I wish they would have done in the movie, but it's fine. I won't get into it. But I do want to talk about all the famous vampires who show up to the scene.
Yes.
There's a lot of vampires. I think at the end they say there's like 20 or 18 or 20 or 25. So famous vampires that show up. First one, probably the most famous that I'm going to listen to order of fame, sort of maybe. Rami Malek. He is Benjamin. He can control the elements, so he likes to
Avatar: The Last
light that
Airbender.
bitch. Bohemian Rhapsody. He was Freddie Mercury. Great movie. Is it Mr. Robot? I don't know. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Oscar winner, maybe. I don't know.
Who knows?
And this is 2012, so 2011. So he's not super famous yet, but he can control the elements, which is really cool. They have Joe Anderson, who is Alistar, who's kind of like the guy who wants to go to the attic.
Yeah. He's like,
I know him from Across the Universe, which is a movie based on the Beatles. He's also a pretty famous actor. Lee Pace, my mom will love this, who's on Pushing Daisies. That was his big show. But he's also running the Destroyer in the Marvel series, which I did not know until I Wikipedia'd his little butt.
Oh.
But he's Garrett. He's the Patriot who Carlisle fought with in the Revolutionary War.
Okay.
Hilarious. One of the Russians is Vladimir. He is Mickey from Shameless.
Yeah. Shout out to Mickey.
With
love
bleach. I love Mickey. Bleach blonde hair. Not the most flattering color palette for him.
And eyelashes too. They made him albino.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's Vladimir. So those are some of them. There's obviously all of them are celebrities probably in some way, but those are and then Irina is Maggie Grace. She's also pretty famous. I think she was in Lost. That was her big thing.
Yeah. Oh, she was in Lost. That's how I know her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in a lot of stuff.
But they all they're like, let's fucking deal with these Volturi bitches. We're done with them.
And the Russians are funny because they're like, we want to kill them. Like, we've been waiting millennia to kill them.
Yeah, they're very old.
Right.
And we want to kill them. Yeah, they have cute little accents.
Every time I saw him, I was like, it's Mickey Milkovich.
It's Mickey Milkovich.
I love Shameless.
Who likes to get done in the pooper by a big, tall redhead.
Their wedding was the best thing about that show. Did you watch it?
Oh my god!
I didn't finish the last season, but their wedding was one of my favorite things. Anyway, so they're like, we're not gonna fight, blah blah blah, whatever. But then it becomes a fight. So then in the year of our Lord 2012, we had the biggest cinematic twist in history. So Alice's vision was like, when the snow sticks, that's when they're gonna come for you. So they go to this clearing, and it's everybody that they've gathered. It's the werewolves with them, and then the Volturi show up with like 100 people.
Literally all of them. I
was like, why are there so many? So they show up, and Alice and Jasper bolted. I guess we didn't say that.
Yeah, they bolted, had left a while back for a secret mission.
Yes, as soon as Alice got that vision, she said bye. Bye. And Bella secretly thought, I think she left because we're all gonna die, and she doesn't want to die. Like, I really think she thought that. Yeah. And so they're all there minus Alice and Jasper. And it's so dramatic. Did you watch the whole thing, or did you stop at a certain point? Or did you even watch part 2?
No, I watched it.
Okay. Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't think you've watched
I do my homework.
Okay, good. But was it not dramatic?
Did you not?
I thought you didn't watch the fight scene.
That wasn't the question.
Oh. No, I did not watch the whole thing.
Justin looked at you like you did.
I don't know why he looked at me. I literally watched it yesterday.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I won't be called
out. I'm sure you heard me laughing during the fight scene because I was fucking cackling like a psycho hyena. I was like, what is this? But the fight, they're word fighting with each other. It's so dramatic.
Well, just a smidge. Let's back up because what happens is, so the Volturi arrive. They see Renesmee is not an immortal child. They learn.
Well, Aro's like they want to talk to Edward, so Edward touches his hand, Michael Sheen with the like.
I know. Hate that. I love it. No, I love it. I love it.
I love it. It's gay. It's very gay, but
gay.
It's like it's very like delicate. It's like
I know. I love it.
So he touches his hand. He sees everything. He sees Bella gave birth to her, whatever. And he's like, "Well, can I meet her?" And then he cackles. Do you?
Yeah. Well, he's a freak. So.
And then she goes, "Hello, Aro," which is like one of the first things she says in the whole fucking movie. She puts her hand on his face, and he's like, "Oh my god!"
Which I thought was. First off,
ballsy.
Power move. Thank you.
Ballsy.
Because she's like, flop hand. I don't think so. Face.
Right.
Touches her.
Right. And everybody's like, Emmett's there, Bella's there. And then the other, I forget the guys. Maybe it's Caius or Marcus. One of them is like, she's still an abomination. Like, we don't know that she can conceal her secret, blah, blah, blah.
So Ara says, you're right. We got to kill this wigged out baby.
So they kind of, so they run back, and then Alice and Jasper just casually saunter
from
up.
nowhere.
Sauntered. I'm like, you are vampires. Why are you walking so slow?
Well, they're all vampires, so to them it probably looks normal.
Well, maybe, but I was like, you would think. So she goes up to him, and she's just like, I'll show you what I know.
I got the tea.
Yeah, and
we can prove this baby is fine.
Yeah, we can prove, and he's just like, I don't know. So he touches her hand, and this is where it turns to the fake vision.
Right.
Which, if you watch this for the first time, you didn't know.
You don't know. If you read the books, this did not happen in the books at all.
No, it was a very anticlimactic sort of like, it was a lot more verbal sparring than it was anything else. Right. Because no fight happened. Not even in, you didn't even see her. You didn't even see her vision in the book.
No.
So the vision starts where essentially they grab Jasper and Alice, and then Alice kicks Aro. That's what starts it.
Right.
And they're like acting like they're about to rip her apart, and Carlisle runs. Carlisle's like, no. Aro runs. They do some weird Matrix.
Yep. Like,
I don't know how to describe it. Yeah. And then you hear you see Carlisle fall, and then his fucking head is in Aro's hands.
Gone.
Tell me.
Scream.
Remember the theater
screaming?
I mean, it was pure insanity. People in my theater were just in the rows screaming, yelling. Right.
Well, oh my god! Because I mean, again,
it was shocking. It was very shocking.
And you're just like, what is like? Because he's dead. He's now dead. Carlisle's dead.
Carlisle's dead. And then they show Esme, and everyone's like, oh my god! And then it goes, we're gone. We're gone.
It's all downhill from here.
Right. And so there is a lovely little website, listofdeaths.fandom.com/wiki Twilight Breaking Down Part 2. And I pulled the death order, if you would like to hear it.
Please, let's go through it.
And I only pulled the people that we would all know, because there's unnamed people, pack people, whatever. Carlisle's the first, head torn off by Aro.
Right.
Then it's Jasper. They also slapped him across the face in a weird.
They did.
I was like, why did they slap him? He gets his head punched off by Dimitri. And then Alec, the guy who can do the numb Jane's brother, Emmett tears his head off. Mm-hmm. And then unfortunately Seth Clearwater, R.I.P., gets his neck twisted off by, well, not twisted off, but twisted by Felix. And then before this all starts, Bella had Renesmee with a backpack full of cash and the fakes and told Jacob, it's time. You better run your ass off. Yeah. So they're running. So they have a guy chasing them. Jacob kills that guy, Santiago. Next is Leah Clearwater. At one point, Benjamin's like, you know what, fuck this shit up more. Let me break a hole into this earth.
Yeah, let me split the earth.
So he basically splits the earth in half, and people start falling into it.
Yeah.
Esme kind of falls in a fight, and Leah Clearwater grabs the vampire and dies in the lava, is what they called it. Yeah. So she goes next, and then Edward kills him, and then Jane got
fucked
dogged.
Up. She got fucked up.
Sam Yulee grabbed her and just killed her.
He said, guess what, bitch?
Not today. You killed my former girlfriend, not my imprinted girlfriend. Right. And then Caius had his head torn off by one of the Nunali sisters, Tanya.
Yep.
And then Marcus, my favorite death of the whole thing.
Gladly
he just held out his arms. The guy who looks tired and all of it. And he goes, finally. And the Russians just run and grab him and
split him,
pull him.
Yeah.
And then oh my god, did you love it?
I loved it. Yeah. He's just kind of like,
finally. He literally said finally.
Yeah. Gladly died.
And then the last one that they show, like that's a big one, was Aro and Edward and Bella. And let's talk about that little kill scene, because he used her like a goddamn sword.
Said,
did you
come
not?
Here, bitch, and just
they both got like kicked off, and then they kind of fall next to each other, and they're like grabbing hands, kind of like in this weird moment of like, are we about to both die? Like, I love you, I love you. And then he grabs her and like uses her as like a
sack of potatoes and flings her around and smacks her.
Right, it's like a pinata,
like a pinata, bitch.
And then
except he takes the pinata and beats Aro with it,
and she grabs his head and just snaps it right the fuck off. And he in the vision, he still kind of is somewhat conscious because his eyes move.
I think they are. I think they're alive until you burn them. I think their bodies can go. We talked about this in an earlier episode.
We did in Eclipse. I think we.
But I think they can come back together. Like I think if you would put his head back on there, he'd probably heal. They heal, don't they?
Stephanie Collins.
Stephanie. We have a lot of questions.
Stephanie,
for you.
I didn't know because I don't think they do. I think they can lose limbs and still be fine. But I think once their head's off, they're dead.
I don't know. Okay.
But who knows? We don't know.
Stay tuned.
Who cares? It doesn't matter. And then, and then, Thanos snapped right out of that vision.
Yeah. Goodbye.
All fake.
Screaming.
Theaters were just sighs of relief. Still, my theater still screamed quite a bit.
Well, and Irene is still dead.
Yeah, we did not talk about that. She got killed before the whole thing started because she lied to the Volturi. Well, not lied, but she was mistaken, and they don't give second chances.
They said that's enough.
And so they killed her, and then the two sisters, Tanya and Kate, saw their mom and sister. Sorry, I almost said daughter, mom and sister, and I guess toddler brother at some point get killed by the Volturi.
Right. Trauma.
And then it's just this very like weird sort of like. Okay, but then they have the half vampire.
Yeah, that's what Alice and Jasper they went to find proof that a half human, half vampire exists, and that they are not a threat. And so they find I don't remember his name, but
I can't remember his name either. I feel
someone
so
from Brazil.
Bad. Mm-hmm. Yes, him and his aunt, and he had actually turned his aunt as a baby. But he talks to Aro and he's like, I'm 150 years old, give or take.
I think it was 150.
150. And he was like, how old were you when you reached maturity? And he said, I was about 7 years old.
He can eat blood or human food.
He can survive on both. And
Aro said, that's enough for me. Thank you. Bye.
He basically was like, okay, I don't want to die myself. I saw how it goes. But they didn't in the books that the half human, half vampire guy and his aunt, they stayed with the Cullens for a little bit, and Edward and Bella, I think, talked to them a little bit more, or like spoke to them more, because they don't talk about it in the movie. They sort of did that. He kind of had a tumultuous upbringing because his dad in the book, and they don't say it in the movie. I remember in the book they were going to try to find his dad because his dad was basically trying to create an entire race of half human, half vampire people, and also. In the book, they explain that the male babies, half human, half vampire babies, can turn people, like their bites are venomous, but girls are not. That's hence why Renesmee, didn't turn Bella immediately. With the titty I guess biting. Would that have been? I don't know. Well, she wanted Edward to change her. That was so. Yeah, it's fine. We won't talk about it. It was a little much. It was a lot. It was a lot. It's fine.
Yep. So everyone's happy.
Everyone's happy, happily ever after.
Alice sees the future, and Renesmee's wigged up and old now, and happy with Daddy now instead of
her daddy Jacob.
Which he did say something. Did you catch that where Jacob and Edward were talking? He was like, "Should I call you Dad?"
Oh my God!
And he was like, "No."
No, I would have called him Dad just to be.
I would too.
Shitty, but it's fine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's all happily ever after. You think it's all done, and then cuts to the meadow. The lovely little meadow where the two of them
Which is no longer ripped up.
Nope. It looks like it did in Eclipse. It's beautiful. Also, they were in the sun and not glittering. Did you notice that? I mean, they weren't like in direct sunlight, but it was sunny.
Maybe they don't glitter to each other.
I still think they would glitter because you saw her glitter when they were the arm wrestling part. I don't know. It wasn't like it was like overcast, but it was still kind of sunny. I don't know. Anyways, I thought that was kind of annoying. But yeah, so Bella, this little stupid bitch. It's fine. They're in the meadow. Well, and she's a we also didn't talk about.
Yeah, we didn't talk.
Sorry.
Her power is she's a shield,
so she can block. So she
ends
ends up
people's powers.
It takes her practice, but during the fight she's able to use her shield, and like when Jane and Alec are still alive trying to do stuff, she blocks people, and they realize that they try to go after Bella because she's the shield, and they can't. So
she saves the day.
Secretly, she's trying to figure out a way to do it where she can retract her brain so Edward could read her thoughts.
Right.
So she's like, I want to show you something. And he's like, what is it? And she closes her eyes, which I was like, okay. That was weird. He's like staring at her, and then you kind of see her, like you see what he can see, which is like it like shield, rolls up her thoughts, and it's all of the memories she has of him, like when she first saw him in the lunchroom with his beautiful hair. And them at prom and all the stuff when she showed him when he left, and I was like, why would you even like show him that? But I guess to show him that you were really sad when he left.
Yeah, I think
it was like new
it was
moon
like
stuff.
here's how I see you through my eyes kind of thing.
And so he's just like, oh my God, I could hear you. How did you do that? And she's like, I've been practicing
for you. I know. I said
I was like,
I said Bella learns to lower her or I said in the end Bella learns to lower her shield and let Edward read her thoughts. And I said, and shouldn't we all learn to do this? Shouldn't we all learn to let people in?
Oh my God. Cut the cameras.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass. But really, I feel like this ending was cute, much more nostalgic, less better, corny than the rest of the series.
The 1,000 Years by Christina Perry
Birth
plays,
of her career.
Which this is there wasn't the original song. She wrote a second part for this movie. So this is the second part of it. But and then the movie cuts and then it shows the book flipping and it's like this is our perfect part of forever.
I did love the credits.
Yeah, it was great. The credits
were cute.
The beginning credits when they showed all the names at the beginning.
I loved
that was actually really good.
But I said as I was going through the credits, I thought, but LOL, what if he read her thoughts and was like, never mind.
Ew. You're a big ew.
You're a big ew. You're a big
like
flop.
when she was pregnant, I was like, oh my God. Anyways,
I know. She's an idiot.
It's fine. And then that concludes our saga.
Mm-hmm.
Before we're done though, we need to rank.
Yeah.
We need to rank our movies. And then I think you have a fetch or flop, right?
I have a what did I do? It is a fetch or flop.
Okay,
yeah,
I remember
it is.
Okay. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first? Or do you want to do it
together?
Do you
want to do top 1 to top 5 or do top 5 to top
5 to 1? Let's do 5 to 1.
Okay. So least favorite. Number 5,
because unfortunately there's 5 movies. New Moon.
Thank you. New Moon. Absolutely. We might be the same.
I don't know. We'll see what you did here. I don't know. I did something.
New Moon definitely did not care for it.
No, there were so many red flags.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to the episode. We talk a lot about them. Yeah. Anyways, number 4.
The first one, Twilight.
Oh. I put Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2. It's a two-way tie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. They were fine, but it was like the second Part 2 is kind of boring until the fight scene. I mean, truly, it was sort of like a cool. She's a vampire now. And Part 1 it just was weird. It was too much.
There was a lot.
Anyways.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What's your 3?
So then my 3 is Part 1. Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Sure. Okay. What's your number?
Number 2 is Eclipse.
Oh, you're about to. Okay, my number 2 is the original.
Okay.
I think it's a better. I think you don't have the extra junk of everything else that happens after. So like, I think the story is a little bit. It's still crazy.
It was too corny to me.
It is corny.
And too many wigs.
Too many wigs. Well, actually, I didn't have too many wigs in the first one.
Yeah.
Some of them did.
Enough.
Number 1. Which number?
So mine was Part 2.
Part 2. Mine's Eclipse.
Yeah.
Even though the wigs are bad, I think the story of Eclipse is better.
I think Eclipse. Yeah, I would probably, now that we're talking
it's
about
more
it,
entertaining.
say Eclipse is maybe more number 1.
More things happen in it. Yeah. Like she graduates. They have the party.
Yeah.
The fight scenes are better. I think cinematically it's one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're close.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. New Moon.
Yeah. Poor New Moon. So sorry.
R.I.P. Anyways, give me your fetch or flop. I gotta know.
So I did, and as I read over some of them
Twilight
after
scenes.
I did this, it was Twilight moments.
Oh, okay, yeah, I love it.
I think they're all going to be flops now that I think about it. Because no, I take that back.
It's not all going to be flops.
So, Vampires Twinkling in the Sunlight.
Flop.
Yeah, I think it's a flop.
I think of the original one with Edward like losing his fucking marbles. That's when I think I would like flop.
It's a flop. Jasper almost killing Bella on her birthday.
Fetch.
Yes, fetch.
Throwing
her across the room.
Yeah, that was
good.
The music in the background too was crazy. Anyways,
the baseball scene.
Fetch. That's iconic of this whole series.
Iconic.
Have you seen if I find it again, I'll send it to you. I think I saved it to the Two Tired Therapist Instagram. It's the girl who did like I think you and I sent some stuff where she's like the big eyes and she's just like Jasper or whatever. Yeah. She does the baseball scene and she puts in the leg, but it's like a fake leg. It's so funny. I'll have to find it and send it to you. It's
of Alice like
but it's like a fake white leg that goes on. Because that is such not how you pitch.
I cannot wait.
Oh my god, I'll have to find it. Okay.
Oh my god. Okay. I know the answer to this one. CGI Renesmee.
Oh, flop.
Major
What's
flop.
lower than flop?
I don't know. Like, I can't even think of it. Fuck. That's it. Fetch, flop, fuck. Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
I won't.
Jacob imprinting on a baby.
Flop.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand though, like, because it's like when you see them, but still, like, still. Anyways.
No. Bella depressed in the forest after Edward breaks up with her.
Flop.
Mm-hmm.
Get a cell phone.
Get a cell phone, bitch. Jacob throwing wrenches at Bella's face.
Flop.
I would say I'm gonna go with fine because while shocking to see, and I would never condone this in reality. It's kind of funny. It was kind of funny of him being like it was good. Bella becoming a vampire.
Fine.
Yeah, it was fine. It's fine.
Good for her because she in the movie she was like, I feel I'm alive as a vampire. Cool. Like I'm glad she feels that way. It was fine.
The soundtracks.
Fetch. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Big fetches.
Alice's vision of the big battle.
Honestly, if you'd asked me 2 days ago when I hadn't rewatched this, I would have said flop, but I think it's fetch now.
I think
it's fetch fine. Like, but I would say it's
yeah.
If you did not read the books, it makes sense because knowing what happens in the books, like, it doesn't happen. So like I remember being in the theater being like, this isn't real, like this is not happening. But like if you don't, I mean, how are they going to explain that Alice can see that they're basically going to get decimated? Because they got decimated. I mean, there were on that website there was kill counts. Bella had the most kill counts of that whole fight. She had 19 kills.
There you go.
Edward was second with 18.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I actually think it's kind of fetch because it's different.
Again, they didn't.
As a book reader, right? Like you have that experience of like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, and there wasn't like a blueprint. Like it wasn't like Carlisle had it. Like they could have, and maybe Stephanie, call us Stephanie. Maybe she was like, here's who should die in this. Like,
right.
Because Carlisle was the only one who died of the Cullens. Nobody else died. Right. Or at least nobody that you saw in that vision. I don't know how long that vision could have gone for, but interesting. No, I think it's a fetch.
Spider Monkey.
Flop.
And then lastly, Bryce Dallas Howard is Victoria.
I think fine. I don't love it. I don't love that they recast her, but I get it. I'm not mad at any of them. They did also give Rochelle Lefevre credits in the end scene. Yeah, she got to be shown again at the end of Breaking Down Part 2, which I thought was very nice because most movies have been like, fuck her.
Right, fuck her. We don't know her. Yeah. But I think it was just a scheduling error. Like it was.
Well, yeah, she did. I think she was doing like a Broadway play or something.
Yeah. I would say fetch. I think Bryce Dallas Howard.
She did great. It wasn't. I don't like when they.
She's
recast.
a nepo baby, but. That's fine. Aren't we all at some point in our lives? At some point. So there you go. You'll have to write in with your favorite Twilight moments and we'll fetch
if there's another series or movie you want us to recap and give our thoughts to, I guess. Sure.
We'll do. We're here for you.
We're here for you.
We're here to do what you want and fulfill your needs.
Mm-hmm.
So
if there's reels you guys would like me to make please let me know. It's really hard to come up with ideas, but it's fine. I just Google or I just look on my little app and it tells me what's popular. But some of them
I think the ones where you are like dragging us are really good.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's so specific to us. It's hard for other people to like it, but it's fine. I'm gonna try to make a couple breaking down.
Well, that's why they need to listen to the episode to get to know us, make us famous. Or infamous.
Instead of these water fucking mixing accounts. I'm so mad now. Please. I didn't understand your incense, and then when you sent me that video, I was like, wow. I was like, they're making coin off that. You're paying these water mixing accounts. They're literally opening a packet and putting in water.
Yeah, you know how much those fucking packets are? You can get 8 of them at Aldi for like $1.99. Are you kidding me?
Carla, I could be famous.
Thank you.
That's what we could do this full time. We could have a little Patreon.
Don't you think we have more important and interesting things to say? I think so.
We could have a Patreon. People could pay us, and we could just shittily chat about whatever. We could have like little.
We could put a picture of the dogs on there, but only if you pay for it.
Yeah.
We'll slut them out. Only pause.
Rocket would love it. Rocket would be the first dog on Only Pause.
I love it.
Anyways.
Well, there you go. Twilight. It's done. We can lay her to rest.
We can lay her to rest. We've got some other ideas for future episodes. Mm-hmm. But again, if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, please comment, like, subscribe to us. I don't know. We're on YouTube now.
We're on YouTube now. I didn't even know that till today.
Instagram. We're on Instagram. I don't know.
And if you think the world is flat,
write in so we can drag you because you don't deserve to travel.
Or take a fucking science class at your local community college.
Or go to the library. Although they probably think libraries are full of libtards, so it's fine.
That's the tea.
Anyways, so sorry.
Wow. Well, stay tired
and petty.